This is Scott Spears, and today I'm joined by a legendary figure in the world of broadcasting who will be speaking at a Democratic fundraiser today at 11 a.m. at the Colonial House right here in Marion. The cost is $25 per person. I speak, of course, of Jerry Springer. Jerry, how are you?
I'm fine. Nice talking to you. I'm looking forward to getting up there to Marion.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to having you. People who come to the fundraiser today at 11 o'clock, what can they expect?
Well, obviously, we're going to be talking about the presidential election coming up now, which, in terms of the direction the country will take, is probably more defines what America is going to be than probably any presidential election in the last 30 years. I mean, we've had presidential elections during wars and things like that, which are obviously critical issues. But this one, with the selection of Paul Ryan as the VP, the vice presidential candidate, we really now have a clear distinction about which direction we want America to go. And so this is perfect. And it is an opportunity for America to say, we don't want to mess with Medicare. We don't want to lessen the amount that we give to middle-class people so that they can send their kids to college. We don't want to cut the social programs that gives the middle class a chance to compete in this tough economy. And that's what this is about. We now know where Mitt Romney's going to be. He signed on to the Paul Ryan budget. But the incredible slashes in the budget to things like Medicare, the Pell Grants, aid to education, those kind of programs, good Lord, that can't be the America we want.
Jerry, a lot of people may be listening to this who only know you from your television show might not realize how involved you are in the political world, which, of course, you were in office here in Ohio, actually. What is the fundamental fact, the fundamental issue that makes you a Democrat?
Well, I believe in the American dream. I mean, that is probably why I wind up being a Democrat. I don't believe that government should be primarily for wealthy, powerful interests. I've been very lucky in life, and I do very well. But 98% of the country are not millionaires. And they're trying to get their kids through school. They're trying to pay their mortgages. They're just trying to, have a decent, productive life. And the whole reason you have government in a free society is that those opportunities should then be provided. If you only pass legislation which gives breaks to wealthy people, if you only pass legislation which protects the interests of the powerful and the wealthy, then the middle class is going to be left behind. And I'm not making this up. All you have to do is read the newspaper every single day, and you see how much the middle class is struggling. And so, for example, when we say, look, we can continue to have Medicare, we can continue to have aid for education, but we're going to have to cut back because we have to give the tax breaks to the top 2%. I'm saying, what? What is that about? Most of the people that we elect to Congress that are in our government are put there by wealthy interests that protect those wealthy interests. That is the truth, and I know that. I see all the breaks I get just because I'm at a high income level. I don't think that's fair, and I don't think most people think that's fair. And I think probably that's why Barack Obama will be reelected.
Jerry, you said something very interesting there. You said the top 2% in this country are the wealthy people. Why is it then, in an election, here we are very close to November, and even here in Ohio, it looks almost like a dead heat between Romney and Obama. How can it be 50-50 in an election when the benefits for one party are only for the top 2%?
Well, because every election gets to be a referendum on the person currently in office. And because we are in difficult times, because the economy, which is affected by a whole ton of things that have nothing to do with the president, of course. The president can't control what goes on in Spain, and what goes on in Greece, and obviously that affects the world economy. So there are things that happen, and when things are tough, the incumbent president is always going to have a little bit of a battle. What is amazing is when you look at the approval ratings of the president and, what people think of this particular president. It's amazing that he's in the lead. You would think this would be an election where, wow, the incumbent is really in trouble. But I think what people realize is that, let's be honest, when Barack Obama became president, we had the greatest financial crisis. He inherited the greatest financial crisis we've had since the Depression. We were losing 800,000 jobs a month in the private sector. 800,000 jobs a month. It takes time to turn that around. Now, thankfully, for the first time for this past year or so, we are adding jobs in the private sector every single month. So yes, the economy is starting to rebound. I think people realize that. And people don't want to go back to the solutions that we thought we had in the first part of this, 21st century, when we all of a sudden we're deciding, let's have tax cuts for wealthy people. Let's have two wars which were unpaid for, that we weren't willing to be honest enough to say, if we're going to go to war, we ought to be able to pay for it and therefore have a tax to pay for it. No, we wanted a free ride. Let's have a war. Don't pay for it, and now all of a sudden we have this incredible debt. Well, I think people realize that, you can't put this on Obama, and I think that's why the president probably will be reelected. I certainly hope so. And look, I don't speak for the Democratic Party. I'm a private citizen, but I take my citizenship seriously. And I'm just a private citizen who's doing everything I can to see that we have a president that reflects American values.
Jerry Springer, private citizen, is obviously very passionate. We can hear that. Will he run for office again?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm 68 years old. I think there comes a point when, I'm not looking for a job. I mean, that's the honest answer. I just, look, I'm an immigrant. I came here when I was 5. My family, my parents didn't speak English that well. I believe in the American dream. I have lived it. I see that it works. So I just think part of being a citizen is you get involved in the public business. And so I'm just doing this. That's the reason I'm doing it. There's nothing I get out of it. It's not going to increase ratings of my show. So, I love this country, and as millions and millions of other people do, and that's what we should all do. We should all be getting involved in this. I'm not doing anything unique. I'm just doing what most Americans do. They care about their country, and so therefore I'm going to push for the ideas that I think represent what America ought to be.
Jerry, you've been doing that talk show for a long time now, over 20 years. How long are you going to continue to do it?
Well, I've let NBC know that I'm going to be stopping my show when I'm 104. That's it, because I want to be able to enjoy my retirement. It's like, I want to be able to, I'm working on my shuffleboard, and I want to be able to play that well.
Any serious answer, Jerry? Do you still like doing it?
Well, the truth of the matter is, obviously, I don't need to make a living anymore, but the truth is, it's so much fun to do the show. I mean, I wish I had a more sophisticated answer to why I keep doing it, but it's just fun. And I get to do all these other shows, too. I do this other show, Baggage, which will go into syndication starting September 17th nationwide. So I do that. I do The Price is Right out in Vegas. I enjoy being an entertainer, and that's, you want to enjoy what you do in life, and that's fun. The politics is the part I take seriously. That's like religion. That's my passion. But my career, my business, how I make money, and, is being in show business, and I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Jerry, final question here. Handicap it for me. I know we're 3 months out, but what's it going to look like in November? You say Obama will probably win. What's it going to look like?
Well, I think on election night, look at Ohio, Virginia, and Florida. If Obama wins any of those 3 states, he's the next president. Romney has to run. If you take a look at the electoral map, this is my view, he has to run the table. For the only way Romney can win is if he wins Ohio and Florida and Virginia. If Obama wins any one of those states, there's no electoral way that Romney gets enough of those electoral votes to be president. So I think that's the thing. But honestly, I think right now it's no longer a race between Obama and Romney. I think from now on till Election Day, the election is between Barack Obama and Paul Ryan, because that's the blueprint for what a Romney presidency would look like. He's adopted it now. This is what Congress has passed. He wouldn't dare veto the very conservative right-wing Congress, because he knows that if he ever vetoed the Republican Congress, if he were president, he would be challenged for re-election in the primaries. And no president ever gets re-elected if he's challenged in his own party's primary. Take a look at Lyndon Johnson, Jimmy Carter, etc. So Romney now has signed on. He made a pact with the devil or whatever, but he's stuck. Now he's got to do the Ryan budget. And when people look at that Ryan budget, they're going to be afraid for good reason. And I think that's what the election is. Romney is irrelevant to the race now, I believe. I think it is now Barack Obama versus Paul Ryan.
Jerry, I know we have to let you go, but just one question here, because that's very important. Why should they be scared of the Ryan budget?
If you see the things that are being cut, the things that have become part of the American way of life, if you have parents still alive, if you have grandparents, you talk to those people and see how important Social Security, Medicare is to them. There are millions, and we would do away the 30 million people that suddenly are getting health insurance now, people that all of a sudden we passed with the Affordable Health Care Act, the idea that pre-existing condition cannot, no insurance company can turn you away because of a pre-existing condition. Do you really want to live in a country that now, where people don't get that insurance, where once you have a condition you can no longer get insurance, that you won't be able to have enough money to take care of your health needs when you're a senior citizen, that all you're going to get is a voucher? And, anyone who's had a loved one in the hospital knows that, oh my God, sometimes the expense gets to be more than you thought it was. Well, under the Ryan plan, once you run out of your voucher, too bad. What are you going to say then? Pull the plug? What are you going to say then? Well, I can't afford that operation. Let's not do it. I mean, it is crazy when people really see how mean-spirited that budget is. I think Republicans are going to say, no, that's way beyond the pale. And I think the debate you're really going to see in the next 3 months is within the Republican Party, between those people that are moderates and had supported Romney, and those people that, the Tea Party folks who support the Paul Ryan budget. That debate is what's going to be taking place. Which is the real Romney?
What a fascinating conversation. Jerry Springer will be live.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate that. I look forward to being in Marion. Yeah, I'll see you at around 11 or so.
Hey, thank you, Jerry.
Okay, bye-bye.
Jerry Springer live this morning at the Colonial House here in Marion.